Oh man, it's burning up out there. The heat waves are increasing. It's getting warmer and warmer. Records are being broken with the heat waves, and we need to wear the most freshest fragrances. So today I've got 20 citrus fragrances that I really love, and these are the ones that you're going to wear to beat the heat with. So if you want to find out my favorite citrus fragrances as of late, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, I do love citruses, and especially in the summertime, I liberally spray them all over, and they do make me smell great, but they're also the type of fragrance that subconsciously cool me off. I mean, they are very cooling fragrances, and that's kind of what I want in the summertime. Something that's really refreshing, sparkling, effervescent, and very cooling. Ones that have a cooling effect. So I've got 20 fragrances here. I'm not ranking this list today, and I'm going to let you know about 20 different fragrances. And I'm going to do this list as quick as possible. But before I get to the fragrances, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So let's jump right into it and start right off. We're going to start off with Healy, Oranges and Lemons, Say the Bells of St. Clements, this one right here. Perfect citrus fragrance here. Lots of different citruses, including lemon, bergamot, orange, mandarin. You also have the flowers, neroli. You also have the green leaves, petitgrain, with some tea. So cozy, sparkly, effervescent, invigorating, fresh. Very fresh. This is the kind of fragrance you would need if you love citruses or if you want to cool off in the heat of the summer. Number one, Healy's Oranges and Lemons, Say the Bells of St. Clements. A new one in my catalog or in my collection. It's an old fragrance that I recently picked up from a house called The Different Company. This is Limon de Cordoza. So this is a bitter, lemony, orangey fragrance, and it has notes of bitter orange, neroli, vetiver, mint, but it does smell like lemons. It's a very lemony experience. Of course, it's called Limon de Cordoza. But you know, it also has some spices in there, kind of mingling with the citruses. And so you not only have this very bitter, fresh, experience with the citruses, but you have the little spicy kick in there as well to kind of like wake up your senses and refresh you a little more. So Limon de Cordoza from The Different Company. Let me know if you know this one. It's a great scent. Really glad to have that one in my collection. The next one is a fragrance I recently spoke about, Gallagher Fragrances OT. And I do want to have to clarify, I guess there's a mistake on the fragrance. On the box of this fragrance it says eau de toilette, on the bottle it says eau de parfum. In my review from a few days ago I said it's an eau de toilette, but it turns out after contacting Gallagher Fragrances this is an eau de parfum concentration, so figures it has great longevity. But this one's full of lemons, mandarin orange, cardamom, sea salt, vetiver, and musk. So you have lots of citruses. For me, it's mostly about the lemons with the sea salt and the vetiver, and of course some of the other notes come in as well, but it's a very sweet, tart experience with the citruses and the grassy vetiver experience. Very refreshing. A citrus fragrance with some depth to it, with the vetiver coming in. So Gallagher Fragrances OT is a great one for you to try. It's a brand new one. Nishants Hachiwa is a great citrus as well, and even though it's got pineapple, it's got loads of grapefruit and bergamot in there as well. So for me, it is a combination of the grapefruit and bergamot with the pineapple, and then you also have some oak moss. It is a very sharp experience, but I like that in this fragrance. It's bitter, it's green, it's woody, and very fresh with the citruses. So Nishants Hachiwa, a great one to cool you off, and one that lasts a long time if you want something long-lasting. And then speaking of something that kind of smells like Aventus, we're going to go with Cedar Boisé as well. Cedar Boisé is also kind of similar to Nishants Hachiwa, and then it's not. This is a lot softer, not as harsh as Nishants Hachiwa, and the experience is a softer experience, but you got lots of lemons here, fruits, cedarwood, bergamot, and leather. Yeah, you do get some leathery touches in here, but it's mostly a citrus, it's lots of lemons and fruits together. And I guess the fruits combined with the lemons kind of acts like Aventus's pineapple, but it's a great scent. It smells really great, and I think it's a great refreshing experience for a summer wear kind of a thing. So Mancera's Cedar Boisé, a great fragrance for you to wear to beat that heat with. The next one I'm talking about is from a house called Berdu. This is Selva do Brazil. This is a bitter green citrusy experience, and we're mostly dealing with the leaves of the orange, bitter orange tree. It's a great smell. It smells fantastic. Very, very realistic orange, bitter orange tree leaf experience. But you also have some tonka beans and guaiac wood in here. I think what's dominating in this fragrance is the leaves, the petitgrain note, the orange leaves. So it is very bitter, green, orangey, citrusy, and I think it's a great scent to wear in the summertime. Maybe the woods might be a little too much for some folks, but give it a try if you like bitter, green, orangey fragrances. Selva do Brazil, a great, great scent. I love that one. It's my favorite from that house. All right, the next one I'm going to talk to you about is one that I spoke about yesterday doing a comparison video of Commodities Nectar with Joe Malone's Orange Blossom. It is Nectar. Nectar is a great, great scent. Yes, it does remind me of Orange Blossom, but this is a lot juicier, citrusier in comparison to the Joe Malone Orange Blossom. But other than that, it does remind you of the other fragrance, except for the fact that this one has the juicy citruses in addition to the flowers and things like that. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and also it has great, great longevity, and it's tart, it's sour, it's sweet at the same time, white flowers, citrus flowers, and lots of musk thrown in. A beautiful wear and perfect, perfect, fresh, very refreshing summer fragrance experience. Check it out, Commodity Nectar. And then if you're curious, go check out my comparison video of this Nectar with Joe Malone's Orange Blossom. You'll find out a little more information about it. So check out Commodities Nectar if you're looking for something very fresh. The next one I'm going to talk to you about is XERJOFF's Neo. This is XERJOFF's bergamot fragrance. If you like bergamot and fragrances, definitely try this one. For me, this particular bergamot has a very classic touch. Not when you first spray it. It develops into something a little more aromatic, like almost bordering a fougere, but not quite. So it's got loads of bergamot, green notes, neroli, jasmine, vetiver, pink pepper, cardamom. So the spices in there kind of go or take me into kind of like the aromatic spicy direction. Very, very getting close to, but not quite getting there to the fougere direction. But it's a great scent. It's a great one from XERJOFF. A great bergamot, one of the better bergamot fragrances out there, and great to wear in the summertime. So XERJOFF's Neo. Check it out if you don't know that one. This next one is a staple for summer for tart, sour, citrus fragrances. This is Aqua Viva from the house of PROFUMUM ROMA. A great, great fragrance if you like it sour, tart, lemony, with woods and some spicy touches thrown in. A perfect fragrance to wear, and it has great longevity. And with PROFUMUM ROMA fragrances, they're a little oily. You can rub them. A lot of folks say don't, rub your perfumes or fragrances. I have no rules about that, but the brand itself says you can actually rub them on and it doesn't really matter because they don't have top and heart and base notes. It's just, the notes are as is, so you're not going to burn away the top notes when you're rubbing your hands. But either way, a great sour fragrance experience, one of the best from PROFUMUM ROMA. If you haven't heard of that house, I would highly recommend it. And speaking of that fragrance, something similar from another house, PROFUMUM ROMA maybe copied it, I don't know, but ANNICK GOUTAL's Eau d'Adrienne, for me, reminds me of Aqua Viva. This came out in the early 80s, that came out in the 90s. Another sour, tart kind of experience. Lots of lemons with this one. You got two kinds of lemons here. You also have citron. There is cypress. There's grapefruit, mandarin orange, aldehydes, all rolled into one. The PROFUMUM ROMA is definitely a lot stronger than the ANNICK GOUTAL. And this is the ANNICK GOUTAL version. I was mentioning recently in a video of my favorite French niche houses. This house has changed their name. It is now called GOUTAL Paris, and they're also in different bottles, so I haven't really tested out those fragrances, but Eau d'Adrienne is one of my favorite fresh fragrances, perfect to wear in the summer. I bought it for the first time on the trip to New York City in the late 90s at Saks there, and I was in love with the way it smelled. And for the humidity I was experiencing, this sour tartness really cut through that humidity and really cooled me off. Number 10, ANNICK GOUTAL's Eau d'Adrienne. I'm not really ranking this list, as I said earlier. That's just my number 10th fragrance. The next one is a brand new one for me from the house of Gucci. It's 1921 in their Alchemist Garden collection. I'm still trying this one, but I'm digging it. I think it's definitely a pricey fragrance for what you get, but it is in the collection and it comes in the most gorgeous bottle, as you can see. But this one has notes of citron, neroli, lemon verbena, and oak moss. So there is a little bit of a astringency with this one. Lemon verbena to me has an astringent quality. It's an herb, but it's also a lemony herb. It has the flowers, the neroli, and then it has this very tart citron note. So I'm digging into it, but I think it's a great fragrance for really, really hot, humid days, I think, because it's all citruses with some woody kind of dense oak moss in the base notes. So Gucci 1921, check it out if you don't know that one. I think it's a great scent, but as I said, I'm still just learning that one. It's a brand new pickup. The next one is one of my favorite fragrances from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is probably one of the better citruses in this house. It's Aqua Universalis Forte, and here we have a very fresh, clean, laundry clean fragrance experience. Very musky with white flowers and lemons and lots of musk. Very laundry clean, and for me in the summertime when it's hot and humid, you sweat, you get kind of, when you sweat, there's this kind of like, you want to almost kind of like go take a shower kind of experience. So when I wear clean fragrances, it's almost like a subconscious thing. You're kind of like, recently bathed or something. That's the kind of feeling I get with this one, because it does have a laundry, clean, fresh experience. It is very, very soapy and clean. Definitely lots of lemons, white flowers, and musk. A great one to wear in the summertime. I highly recommend it. Aqua Universalis Forte from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and that's my number 12th. Suggestion to beat the summer heat with a citrus fragrance. Alright, the next one I'm talking about at number 13, but remember, this is not a ranked list. I'm just giving you the fragrances. It's Atelier Cologne's latest Lemon Island. This is another one that I'm learning, but I think it's a great freshie. It's got lots of lemons, jasmine, and vanilla. For me, it acts like a lemony, beachy fragrance. There's something creamy under there that's reminding me of a coconutty experience. Jasmines sometimes tend to do that, and I think the jasmine with the vanilla kind of does that. But it is very, very fresh. Lots of refreshing and sparkly, effervescent touches here with the lemons. The lemons are not the tart kind here. It is sweetened up, as I said. The vanilla comes in and sweetens it up. So if you're looking for a tart lemon, this is not it. At least on me, it doesn't experience tart. But wonderful fragrance from, once again, Atelier Cologne. They do know how to do citruses very well, and this is Lemon Island from Atelier Cologne, number 13. Number 14 is a fragrance from the house of Guerlain that I highly, highly recommend. It's Mandarin Basilic, a great fragrance. I love this one. This is a great fragrance with loads of mandarin oranges and clementines. There's also bitter orange comes in, orange blossom comes in, and of course basil. It's called Mandarin Basilic after all. Basilic is basil, mandarin is mandarin orange. If you like the idea of citruses with a little bit of an herbal aromatic basil note running throughout it, I think this is a great one to try. It does remind me a little bit of Afternoon Swim, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, but a great, great freshie for beating the summer heat out there. So Guerlain's Mandarin Basilic, a great fresh fragrance from the house of Guerlain, of course. The next one is a pricey one from the house of Bulgari. This is Cedar. This is a great grapefruit fragrance. It's very fresh and also very, very sexy because it has lots of ambroxan. The ambroxan and the grapefruit together create this very, very sexy musk experience. And when you wear it off of you, you're going to smell great, sweat a little bit, get close to someone, they're going to smell you. They're going to say, "What are you wearing? You smell fantastic," kind of a thing. But this is mostly about grapefruit, ambroxan, and woodsy notes. A great fragrance, fresh, also with some deeper notes, like the ambroxan has its, unique qualities of being musky and ambery, woody, and a little aquatic at the same time. But, that's all of that with the grapefruit and the woods. A great, great wear. I love it. Cedar from the house of Bulgari. I think it's a great fragrance to wear when it's really, really hot outside. The next one I'm talking about is Acqua di Parma's Colonia Futura. This one right here. This is a very aromatic citrus experience. If you like your citruses with lots of aromatics thrown in, this is definitely one for you to try. Once again, this one also kind of goes into that kind of aromatic, almost fougere-like direction, but it doesn't get there because I wouldn't call this a fougere, but it's got lots of lavender, and with its aromatic qualities, it hints at it a little bit. Lemons, bergamots, grapefruit, vetiver, and lavender. So there is a bit of a masculine edge with this one, with the citruses, but some people like vetiver and lavender in their fragrances with lots of citruses. So check it out, you might dig this one, and it's a great, great fragrance to wear when it's really, really hot outside to beat the heat. So that's Acqua di Parma, Colonia Futura. check that out if you don't know it. So the next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Chopard. This is Orange Moresque. Oh my god, this is so good. Really, really great fragrance. Lots of oranges here. It's all about oranges, but there's lots of citrus floral notes in here as well, with other citruses, and then throw in some resins. So it does act a little ambery, so maybe it might get a little cloying, but I don't think so. I've worn it when it's really, really hot outside. It's very, very refreshing. It's really, really gorgeous smell. It's beautiful fragrance. I just love the way it smells because you get all those oranges and all the citruses together with floral notes. And when they say floral notes, for notes, I'm picking up like orange blossom, neroli, maybe a little honeysuckle, maybe a little magnolia. It's not an overdose of like jasmine. It could be a little bit jasmine-y, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting mostly like neroli, orange blossom, maybe some magnolia, maybe some honeysuckle. A gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Chopard Orange Moresque. A beautiful fragrance to wear. I'm going to wear a lot of that this summer. The next one is a brand new one from the house of Tower Perfumes. It's Cologne de Mugler, this one right here. So this is a brand new one here for me, but I knew the original fragrance back in 2013. There was a different version of it in a different bottle. He brought it back in this bottle. Now we've got notes of clementine, petitgrain, mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, and bergamot, with lots of aromatics in there. And then you have the Tower Oud DNA in here. If you don't know what Tower Oud is, that's what the Tower Perfumes DNA is. You can definitely pick it up here, but this time it's with lots of citruses, loads of it, and you do experience the clementine, the petitgrain, mandarin orange, grapefruit, lemons, and bergamot all together with aromatics and some resins and spices as well. I would agree that there has to be spices here. In the end, it's called Cologne de Mugler, and it's another fragrance, I believe, inspired by Morocco, the air of the Moroccan desert being Tower Perfume's most popular fragrance, L'air du Desert Marocain. Either way, a great freshie here from Tower Perfumes. It's Cologne de Mugler. Next up, I can't forget this one. This is one of my absolute favorite citruses and absolute favorite bergamot fragrances, Le Labo's Bergamot 22. I absolutely love this one. It's very one of those fragrances that I put my nose to it and I'm in heaven with the way it smells. It's a heavenly fragrance, just smells fantastic altogether. Lots of bergamot with vetiver, grapefruit, orange blossom, and petitgrain, and it's the kind of fragrance that I just love to smell. I know a lot of people complain about the performance, but this is just liberally sprayed on me. I just think that you can really liberally spray it, and you smell great crave this stuff, because I just think it's one of the best smells ever from any house. It's just a really, really fantastic smell, and I crave the smell. It's a great smell, one of the best smells ever created. And of course, my favorite bergamot fragrance, could be even my favorite Le Labo fragrance. Either way, Bergamot 22, one of the freshest fragrances you can wear to beat the summer heat. And of course, I did mention Afternoon Swim right here. An Afternoon Swim is one of the best Mandarin orange fragrances. Yeah, I do have a comparison video of this comparing to Mandarin Basilic from Guerlain. They do have similarities, although the Guerlain has that basil note coming in, but when you remove that, you do kind of get a lot closer to Afternoon Swim. And then on the other hand, Afternoon Swim does have some ginger and ambergris thrown in, so once you remove those things, I think the fragrances will smell alike. But they're both really, really great Mandarin orange fragrances, and I really love wearing it. And this stuff also you can totally liberally spray away, and you will smell fantastic, and you'll be very, very refreshed with all the fresh qualities of a beautiful Mandarin orange fragrance from Louis Vuitton called Afternoon Swim. So that's my last fragrance, and those are my 20 favorite citrus fragrances to beat the summer heat with. Currently, now, some new ones, classics, and old ones listed here. But let me know what you're doing this summer to beat the heat, because it is really, really hot out there, and I know a lot of folks are complaining, and you do need those really kind of thirst quenching kind of citruses that you can wear to really like kill the heat and refresh your body with, and a lot of these will definitely do that. But if you have other suggestions, please let me know, put a comment down, and let me know if you're fans of these fragrances, and if you had to rank them. Again, this is not a rank list. If you had to rank them, how would your list be ranked? Put at least a top 5 or a top 10 down from these 20 fragrances so I can find out. Either way, guys, I hope you guys are staying cool. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. So I'm glad you stick around for the bonus fragrance. I'm going to be doing that from now on, and I'm not going to mention it at the beginning of the video. I have one more bonus fragrance for you guys from the house of Frederic Malle. This is called Cologne Indelible. Recently I featured this in my favorite Frederic Malle Dominique Roupillon created fragrances list. And this is your ultimate kind of Neroli Portofino-esque kind of fragrance with some substance and heft to it. Definitely from the house of Frederic Malle. It's very fresh, but it has some, you know, substance to it. I can totally wear this liberally when it's really, really hot and humid outside. Lots of neroli here with orange blossom. There's lemons, there's bergamot and musk as well, and it's a killer fragrance. Smells fantastic. I love wearing it. It's very, very refreshing. It's invigorating, and that combination of the notes are some of my favorite fragrance notes to wear when it's really, really, really hot outside. A great creation from Dominique Roupillon for Frederic Malle. This is Cologne Indelible. Do let me know if you're a fan of this one and if you wear it. Anyway, I appreciate you sticking around till after the outro.